Inkosi yasijabula ngamandla. Inkosi yasijabula ngamandla. Ilesiwe simnyama. Ilesiwe simnyama ezakhatshwa ngezinti zomkhonto. Ilesiwe simnyama. Ilesiwe simnyama ezakhatshwa ngezinti zomkhonto. Shiyabo shishi ongamandla. Shiyabo shishi ongamandla. Shiyabo shishi ongamandla. Shiyabo shishi onamandla. Ndaba ezithi bayete wena wendlovu nansi isizwe sakho ndaba ezithi kuba ungakhuluma nathi kuba
Salibonani masabezulu. Viva Zappo Viva! Viva Zappo Viva! Viva! Vuka Mthwakazi vuka! Ngizocela ukubingelela kumjini esibiza uMthwakazi. Bingelele izipra commanders bingelele kabaZappo cadres and aficionados and all protocols of course observed. Kodwa phambi kokuthi ngiqalise ukukhuluma ngendaba esihlangene ngayo. I'm sure kulabantu abazibuzayo ukuthi hawu inkosi seyishaya ama chance ama slogans ezapha kwenze njani inkosi is supposed to be apolitical. But again there's a saying but when in Rome do as the Romans and social movement. Yazi esintwini umzekelo asithi sihlaba inkomo sihlaba imbuzi sihlaba senze umcimbi umuntu ozobingelela ekhulumela umndeni lo nize kuwo masithi ngokhumana masithi ngoncomana wonke umuntu ezemcimbini uba ngokhumana ngoba udla ukudla ngokhumana masihlangana sisenza izinto zesintu angithi sikhumbuzana ukuthi bonke ngabantu abesivikela besemhlabeni badlula manje siyasikhumbuza ukuthi babe khona emhlabeni besenza umsebenzi wokuvikela zama ukuthi besizana lesizwe manje mama ngekubengekho emhlabeni ayisosinyanisa let's go religious uJesu akasosinyanisa yini le eyenza ukuthi thina singacommemorate whatever mdala sorry mdala masihlangene sihlaba indlovu sisenze umcimbi sizoncenga amandla sizoncenga ingqondo yokuthi sinqobe impi of the character. Yes. Yiko ke sihlangene umcimbi yeba hlabanga kodwa ke sihlangene sedla sonke singabantu abanye singumndeni. Yiko ke ngisithi ebesithi uMzilikazi actually nawo umndeni wami esiba kwesizwe we are one irrespective of our political affiliations. Awuthi ngophuma endlini uyovotela iDA or ANC athi baba wakhe no longer matter. That's the truth of the matter. Kazi umuntu oyiba. Including today is not only to remember, to commemorate and give a thumbs up and pats on the back for a job well done. It will help the nation stop and take stock and audit our achievements, including our shortcomings, and hand over, as we said, the baton to a newer generation that is charged with, albeit not new warfare, but an evolved challenge rather. and difficulties, of course. This speech is in actual fact to raise the morale of the new soldier, today's soldier. But whilst wars of today don't always need Kalashnikov. Yeah, well, now we need the Black Russian to translate that. Oh, I was actually fortunate to have a conversation with Dabengwa just yesterday. Is there anything that you wanted me to highlight about there are actually a few quotes that she wanted me to but again, this is one stuck out for her. We were young when we joined the liberation struggle. Our vision was to liberate Zimbabwe. Now it is up to the youth to carry the spear forward and preserve the gains of the liberation struggle. Now, this is indeed a line really that speaks to the theme of my speech today. The theme for the day, it comes from General Decimus Meridius, Roman general. Why city Germany wars. What we do today will echo throughout eternity. So before I embark on a historical recollection too much, I must also state something that I would not feel adequate or enough to talk about this topic if ever I was not a soldier myself. I served in the camouflage and endeavored to protect the freedoms that we have today myself. Almost 2 decades ago. The funny thing, I was 24 years of age when I joined the military. Right? You must when you go to join the military at 24. Pass. General Dabengwa was one of the earliest Zapwa arrivals in the Soviet Union. We all know that. He landed in Moscow in 1964. He came out about 64. Under training by James Chikarem, right? Well said by him anyway, as a military intelligence officer, which was the head of Zapu Mason military wing at the time, at the Department of Special Affairs. So as a member of Zapu's youth wing in Bulelani, Dabengwa at the time was involved in expanding the campaign of sabotage. Yeah, I call this a spade is a spade. So it was a means to the end. He had to come in contact with cadres trained in China, and they used bombs as well and grenades and smuggled them from the Congo. Somewhat unexpectedly at the time, we were training initially before they left for Moscow. He and his youth league comrades had no formal military training, as I said. The Soviets offered the possibility of far more serious military engagement. So Dabengwa explains, we had all sorts of raw experiences. What excited us was to be able to do the real thing and do it proper. So you go there, what did you know why Russia? These were young, fearless folks who were, albeit in their naivety, were fueled by nothing else but the love of the country and their devotion to the unconditional freedom of their people. Man, the youth of today is opposed with freedom. We are all Patinama packs and bonuses. His name is called. So, the likes of our General Dr. Dabengwa and his peers of yesterday, that is a leaf that we must take as young people of today. Some of them are sitting and listening to this speech, and to those who are still with us today, you know, I must, as a soldier myself, be in attention and salute. This is indeed a difficult task, today, to be honest. writing a captivating speech without boring abantu, but never ending historical dates, nani. How do you write a speech about someone who has been spoken about and written about globally? Not only in newspapers, but also in publications by well-known writers and authors. It's a daunting task. Zappo 2022, I don't tell you what so I then said to myself, Mangenza a short, concise summary of his that some might not be privy to, that he over the years has imparted not only to those that are close to him, but even to myself one or two follows. Number one, notwithstanding all he and Ulukat Masuku went through immediately after achieving the goal of independence, Didi was never bitter. Disappointed, yes, but to him it was almost a continuation of the struggle for a better Zimbabwe, for the betterment of its people. Just different obstacles this time around, of course, after Bulelani, but obstacles nevertheless. Number two, his commitment to the country was unshakable. So that commitment, he saw every challenge as yet another betterment of Zimbabwe, for the betterment of its people again. Number three, he always yearned for the opportunity to retire from politics, but always succumbed to people's persuasions to continue leading. Ngoba abantu bebebona void. That is the void that I want to talk about today, and in part, not only kwabadala abakhona, and not only to youth, but youth labadala behlangene ngoba umama lana beke wakhuluma ngokuthi indlela ibuzwa kwabaphambili. Kodwa ke ulutsha does not want to stand up for its own fight. I was just saying to Umbulazi and I said, yes, we are here to commemorate abantu abadala, but where is the youth? Where is it? Where are the numbers? If we don't recruit enough people in terms of indoctrination, you must indoctrinate your own people too, because we have a like mind, you have a like cause, and you have a like challenge. But how do we indoctrinate them when we can't fill a hole with them? I retired from the Defense Force. I've done my part as a soldier, as a foot soldier. Now, there's a new type of leadership that I'm taking. But who's filling that void? We're looking at these stats as even of the South African National Defense Force. The Defense Force, when asked in Dabengwa took over in 1994, was sitting at just under 1 million soldiers. You know that now we're sitting at just over 100,000 in total. Just over 10%. How then does a country protect itself? And it keeps going down. It keeps going down. So a lot of introspection must be done by leaders. Anyway, here, number four. Didi was totally committed to his family and his dear wife, as she is affectionately known. Maybe due to his intelligence training, you got to know if you are going to meet with him, he chose the venue at the time. When visiting Joburg, he would never let one know in advance. He'll never. He'll never. He'll just call and say, yeah, I sing corner. And then he'll tell you where and so on. That was his modus operandi. He was very fastidious in timekeeping. I need to be soldier. Punctuality is the most important thing. A soldier, if it's at 2 o'clock, 7 minutes prior, you must be at the venue. You must do your reconnaissance. In every scenario, whether it's a lunch, you position yourself, shoot something happen. That military mind never goes away. It really doesn't. So that is the individual we're talking about here. Another surprising element about Didi was his even temper. Always spoke in a soft tone. Hardly ever raised his voice, even to emphasize a point. That you got from his hand just as a good day. There's a bit of emotion here. There's a bit of emotion. But he told you, So to many of his comrades, he was referred to as UDD. To those even closer to him, I want to say, we appreciate this. We appreciate this because we need to keep remembering who we are and what we stand for. However, I also say we must keep trying to remain relevant, as one of the leaders I think alluded to earlier on. How do you keep relevant? You stay abreast of issues. You constantly engage with our comrades. You lure our comrades into political classes so that you can speak the same tone and the same language. One comrade here, one thing, and I call another one, I'm hearing a totally different story. Man, I've got to connect people on a conference call for what? Each doctrine must be one. It must be. You must operate in unison. That is discipline. So, and to the family of our fallen comrades. May you rest in peace. You have a family. We are your family. Whatever you need, come forward. And we will help as a family that. Have a great day.
Bulelani ga Lobhengula, Inkosi yeselonke. Mzilikazi ga Mashobana, Inkosi yeselonke. Inkosi yeselonke. Katumelulie umkabela wazama waze wawa. Inkosi yeselonke.
Siyabonga. Bathi ungafiwa ukuyitshana ukuthi khona ube umlipoli wabantu. Usebenzise lelo thuba. Ngiyabonga bakuguduza. Anyway, nguthatha from emuva ngale. Lapha la mina ngiphatha khona. Sihlobo sami